Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho Weather Hazard Briefing for Wednesday, November 30th. To round out November, we got a strong winter storm moving into the area today, tomorrow, and we're getting out of the area by Friday. Got a lot of mountain snow and gusty winds, and I'll be breaking that down for you this morning. Key points we're going to focus on today: an impactful Pacific winter storm will arrive today through Thursday into Friday, with winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories in effect. Light to moderate snow is expected ahead of the start times for these products, and the time frame for the winter storm warnings and advisories will be the most significant impact period. So expect widespread winter travel conditions starting today through all day Friday, with bouts of snow continuing through the weekend. Those outer snow bands have arrived throughout the day today, and those will increase in magnitude and coverage as we get towards the later part of today into Thursday. With that, we are already seeing some breezy winds out there with gusts at about 20 to 30 miles an hour, and those will only increase as we get into Thursday and Friday, with wind gusts in excess of 40 miles an hour today and in excess of 50 miles an hour for Thursday and Friday, with a strong cold front moving through. Warmer temperatures, so as that southwest flow does return to much of the area, we are going to see those warmer temperatures, so we're back above freezing for portions of the lower Snake Plain and as far as out into the Magic Valley and South Hills, which will promote a mix of rain and snow as that precipitation and cold front works in, quickly transitioning to snow. And again, continued snow and cold is expected through the weekend as we kick off December with a very active weather pattern. Take a look at satellite this morning. You can see those low-level clouds and upper-level clouds starting to work in as that low pressure is still situated off the British Columbia coast. But as that shifts further south into our area over the coming days, we will see these snowfall and snow showers increase in coverage pretty substantially, and especially as you head out into the mountains outside of the Snake Plain. Take a look at that bigger picture. So that storm we were talking about yesterday intensified off the Pacific coast and is shifting further southeast. And with that, as the system moves further south and eventually right into our area as an upper-level trough, we will see a significant uptick in wind and widespread impacts for snow through Friday, again with continued bouts of moisture working in for the weekend. And here's a look at the current locations. This is just off the Washington coast right now, British Columbia coast this morning, and that is expected to track further south before making a hard right-hand turn here into the States. Weather risk outlook for the next 5 days should be fairly light impacts across the Snake Plain, Magic Valley, and Southeast Highlands outside of some snow shower activity. So certainly something to keep in mind as you're headed out the door this morning. There's snow ongoing, and we will be seeing those winter travel conditions today, tomorrow, Friday, and through the weekend. An impactful period of snow will kick off later part of today through all day Thursday and all day Friday, with gusty winds and heavy snow in our mountains. For the weekend, we're looking at snow showers across much of our lower elevation zones, with some moderate snow continuing for our mountains, as we can, again, continue keeping with that active weather trend to kick off December. Here's a look at those watches, warnings, and advisories currently in effect. So this is going to be in reference to where we're at here in Eastern Idaho. So for those winter storm warnings, we're looking at heavy snow, accumulations about 14 to 24 inches, and generally about 3 to 4 feet in those locally higher amounts with gusty winds. And those locations, again, are going to be up in the Central Mountains, Eastern Highlands, and Southern Highlands, down through the Puyallup Mountains, Caribou Range, and as you get out into the Bear River Range. Winter weather advisories, we're looking at moderate snow in areas shaded in that blue color here, and we're looking at snow accumulations about 4 to 12 inches, with locally higher amounts in that 10 to 20 inch range, locally higher approaching that 2 foot. And where the location is going to be, we're going to be looking at the northeast Magic Valley, through the valleys of the Central Mountains, upper Snake Plain, and portions of the Southern Highlands. Let's break down the timing and wind gusts for you. So this is going to be starting off this morning. Not looking at a whole lot of accumulation further south. Certainly some snow shower activity down there, but accumulations should stay fairly light. But as you get up further north, we are looking at about 1 to 3 inches just this morning. So certainly an area of impacts will be up in the Central Mountains and Eastern Highlands this morning, with gusts still strongest in the higher terrain, but reaching down into the lower elevations up to about 20 to 30 miles an hour. Taking you this afternoon, we're going to see the snow continue across the Eastern Highlands and Central Mountains. A little bit of a break as we get towards the later part of today. Surge of moisture this morning will help promote a lot of the snow activity, especially across the Eastern Highlands, with the continued wind gust in the high country. And this evening, going to be seeing continued snow impacts. Again, slow and steady wins the race for bringing those snow totals up. So we're looking at a 72-hour period of snow Wednesday through Friday. And again, looking at snow continuing through the evening hours as winds stay elevated in the high country. Overnight tonight, we start to see that impactful snow return. So this is looking at a 6-hour time block for all of these graphics. You can start to see, approaching 1 to 2 inch an hour snowfall rates in some portions of these bands as you get out into the Central Mountains, with impactful mountain snow, again, keeping up with the Island Park region. And for Thursday morning, again, just looking about another inch an hour snow bands as you continue up into the mountains as well, approaching that 2 to 3 inch mark in places for your Thursday morning. And with gusty winds, it won't be as impactful in the lower elevations, but certainly as you get up into the high country, gusts up to 40, 50 miles an hour. And where we're not seeing a ton of the snow, we will be seeing some strong downsloping southerly winds here in the lower Snake Plain, which will stifle a lot of precipitation early on in this event. But as the cold front moves through on Thursday into Friday, we'll have those winds shift out of the south to more westerly, which will allow for everyone to get in on some of the snow before the end of the period. And taking you to Thursday afternoon, moderate snow to heavy snow continues in the mountains. We're starting to see a little bit more overspreading into the Snake Plain and across portions of the eastern and southern highlands as winds do start to increase. Timing of that front's going to be working through late Thursday into early Friday, and we're going to see the strongest winds upon the passage of that cold front. And by Thursday evening, widespread snow continues across all of eastern Idaho. Generally looking at, additional accumulations, highest up in the Island Park area out towards Teton Pass and down through the Bear River Range for your Thursday evening, with widespread wind gusts up to about 20 miles an hour in the Magic Valley and upper Snake Plain and lower Snake Plain. But as you get further east into the mountains, we're looking at, Pocatello, Idaho Falls, up towards Du Bois, Spencer, Island Park, an impactful period of wind with gusts up to 40 to 50 miles an hour. Thursday overnight, so that mountain snow shifts further east, so heaviest snow will leave the central mountains for your Thursday overnight. Still continuing, though. As we get further east, though, we're starting to see that more impactful snow shift into the Island Park, Teton Valley, and down through the Bear River Range for Thursday night, with widespread continued, again, very strong wind gusts as that cold front pushes through. By Friday morning, much of that snow is going to be confined along the Idaho, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, and Idaho, Utah borders, with light snow continuing across the forecast area as strong winds persist. By Friday night, most of that snow is going to be out of the area outside of some lingering light showers, and we will see winds return to near Idaho standards back in the 20 to 30 mile an hour range. And taking a look at the storm total snow and QPF, this is taking a look at the 72-hour period, Wednesday through Friday. We're looking at an impactful period of mountain snow as you get up into the central mountains and eastern highlands, where several feet will be accumulating, even in the valleys with up to 3 to 4 feet as you get into the mountains. Down onto the Snake Plain, we're generally looking at about 1 to 4 inches, lower Snake Plain, Magic Valley. But as you get up to the northeast Magic Valley, upper Snake Plain, head out towards Arco, that chance for 8 to 12 inches will exist. And that's where we have the winter weather advisories for north of Idaho Falls, including, out towards Cary and Arco. And with the threat continuing again for those winter storm warnings, impactful snow up in the central mountains, with that continuing into the Lost River Range, Lemhi Range, Beaver Heads, and all the way further east and south along our border regions. Highest QPF with this event will be anywhere from about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch across the Snake Plain, pushing 3/4 to 1 inch in some of the mountain areas. But certainly as you get out of the Snake Plain, generally looking at about 1.5 to even 3.5 inches as you get further into the high country of the Sawtooths. And let's talk about temperatures today. Starting off on the cool side of things further north, but outside of that, we will warm back up into the 20s and 30s for everyone. So any precipitation that we will see today should be all snow. Again, downsloping southerly winds will keep things mostly dry along the Pocatello-Burley corridor. Temperatures for your Thursday, so seeing that warming trend, especially in overnight lows, lots of cloud cover in place. Overall, pretty warm temperatures for your Thursday morning in the teens and 20s and low 30s further south. And by Thursday afternoon, looking to be the warmest day of the week, with afternoon highs in the 30s to even mid-40s across portions of the Magic Valley. With those warmer temperatures, that will promote as that cold front works through, bringing the precipitation chances into the area, at least the chance for some rain-snow mix on the onset of precipitation, with again that transitioning to all snow behind the front. For your Friday, cold air settles in as behind that front, especially further northwest. We're down back into the below zero, up towards Stanley and Copper Basin and Sun Valley, but further southeast where that cloud cover persists, we'll be staying fairly warm again in the teens and 20s. Afternoon highs on Friday noticeably cooler than Thursday, 20s and 30s. And taking a quick look at your weekend. So those continued bouts of snow will continue, but that biggest system will be shifting further east of our area into the central United States. But for Saturday and Sunday, highs in the 20s and 30s. In summary this morning, got an impactful Pacific winter storm arriving today through Thursday. Winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories will kick off today and tomorrow, with light to moderate snow expected throughout the day today, ahead of some of those start times, with a time frame for those products currently situated around the most significant impact period. Outer snow bands arrive throughout the day, increasing in magnitude and coverage later today into early Thursday, and we will see a return to some breezy to widespread gusty winds as a cold front works through the area late Thursday into Friday. Continued cold and snow is expected through the weekend as we keep a very active weather pattern going to kick off December. But that wraps up your weather briefing for today, Wednesday, November 30th. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome day and stay safe out there.